cold outside.
Did you make him
You
soup?
made him
Well,
soup?
yeah.
Yeah, it's cold outside.
I'm pretty sure they're probably actually married.
Yeah, they just they brought in an actual married couple. Like
Just an actual old married couple that normally live off. They didn't actually film this on a set. They just went out and found some.
They went to their house.
They gave Pedro Pascal a gun, and they were just like, "All right, he's gonna hold you hostage. Just act like you're being held hostage."
That dude has been in a ton of crap. Like, I don't remember his name, but he's like the Inuit guy from the fucking 90s and 2000s. He was in everything. He might have even been in Free Fucking Willy. Like, I swear to God, he's been in everything. Anytime they need an Inuit guy, they knock on that fucker's door. Like,
6.
So, hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode 78. We're talking more Last of Us.
We're sorry.
This is episode 6, I think.
Sorry.
Apparently, we're Canadian now.
Sorry. Yeah, we show you what you. Wait, what the fuck? What accent was that?
What was
I
that?
don't know who you're offending, but I'm offended.
Go to the Max. Go to the commune.
You banished to the commune.
Oh no, I get to live and have.
Everyone loves contractors now.
It's like, oh no, I get to live with food, light, and electricity. My bad, Jesus.
Yeah,
I bet they put work around.
Sensitive prick.
No, that's the one thing they don't have. That's why it's a punishment. They don't have Warframe.
No.
Maria just goes like, "We banish Warframe to the bowels of the internet." Whatever that is.
Maria, did they race change Maria?
They did.
Of
course they did.
Well, I thought she was white. Was she not black?
No, she was white.
Liberalism strikes again.
I just don't see color, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I always see color.
I'm not.
It literally didn't matter to the character, so I don't know.
She had more character.
But if it doesn't matter, why change it? I guess is my thing.
Why not change it? Why just get a better actor?
Yeah,
she's not that good of an actress.
She was fine.
She was perfectly fine.
I'm just saying, have you seen the other things she's been in? It's not great.
I haven't seen the other things she's seen.
No.
I've only seen her here, and she was fine here.
She's from True Blood, right? That was
she's from True Blood.
I'm sorry, I don't watch cringe. My bad.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, no wonder we didn't see it.
Yeah, that's my point.
So everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, true.
So with so do we want to talk about the old people or just go straight to?
Old people were based. They were awesome. I fucking got a really good couple chuckles out of just them being them.
I kind of liked the little nod of the two people looking at a map, and it's like, but the problem is like it's weird that Joel like specifically said your answer better be the same.
I mean, it's a reference to.
Why is that weird?
Because the point would be the point would be to just not say that part and then point at the map, and then afterwards, like, oh, the answer's different.
Well,
but no, he's telling them to tell the truth. Like he doesn't want to deal with this bullshit. He's not trying to trap them. He's trying to get them to fucking tell them. That's fair. That's
fair. This is a different environment than when he used it in the game, which was against two of the cannibals.
He wasn't like ripping people apart in this fucking episode. Or maybe he did. Well, no, he didn't rip over the old lady because they said she wasn't.
Yeah, because she was honest, and gave him some soup.
Soup. I had soup yesterday.
What kind?
Soup doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think it matters.
I think Wyatt was really upset that we didn't get a flashback to like years before, and like
we didn't get a flashback to Maria being a district attorney.
While we were watching it, he had like a whole full-on spaz out, and it was actually kind of sad. We weren't supposed to bring it up, but I decided to.
Okay. I'm mostly annoyed that they didn't show Joel teaching Ellie any of the stuff. They just kind of say he taught her.
I mean, you see him teaching her to shoot.
Yeah, but the fact that he alludes to teaching her how to do watch and all that stuff, and finding the high ground
like
situations.
Yeah,
all her development, you know, happens off screen.
Yeah. And the fact that they're not going to ever show her actually hitting a target until it comes to the moment where she has to use the rifle, and then she'll hit something.
She has to activate Ultra Instinct, and she'll do it.
Yeah.
Also, were they trying to say something with the like, oh, how great of a shot he is because he specifically went between the 2 points of the H? Okay.
Dead center.
I thought he was trying to go for like a theme thing, and I was about to be like,
No.
wouldn't it be more clever if he actually went in the O?
It would be clever, yes, but dead center was the point they were making.
Okay. I thought they were trying to make a joke there.
They did. Did you not see it?
Uncultured.
Yeah, they made a joke. You hit the asshole in the middle.
I don't know about you, but mine's not off to the side by a couple letters.
Wait, you don't have asshole tattooed on your asshole?
That's so
lore for the channel.
So with how we're introduced to Jackson, instead of just being the little base attached to the dam, they've skipped straight to the what is in part 2.
A beautiful fucking awesome.
Yeah, they skipped straight to where Jackson is in part 2.
Does it even look? I don't even feel like it looks that good in fucking part 2.
No,
it's a survival
the dining
town.
hall is like exactly like 1 for 1 from the game.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
remember that's the whole bigot sandwich scene.
Yeah, bigot sandwich. But like, I guess I like erased fucking Last of Us 1 from my brain. So.
So you erased the better one out of the 2?
Last of Us, whatever. Fucking, you know what I mean? Fuck that fucking game. But it weirdly bothers me how like pretty it looks. But I guess if that's congruent with the game, because like it was also really pretty with the gay guys too, and it's like, why does this look so good for?
Well, they did literally say that one of them just wanted to spend time painting the buildings to make it look nice.
It's true.
The one that didn't have the survival skills, after all.
True. I don't know. It's just a weird pristine thing. Like people bitch about that in like Star Wars, but it's like, yeah, like a fucking space shit. But like when it's here, it's like, well, it's the middle of the fucking apocalypse. Like, I guess. I don't know.
Not everything was pretty though. There was still rundown buildings with the episode 3 as well.
Yeah, and like and you can chalk that up to all of them like actually working together and making it better. And there's a lot more people than there are the 2. So,
yeah.
Like I said, it's just a minor thing. It's not that big of a deal. But like Jackson's pretty cool. Like I don't know what to say about that. Like it's just a nice place to live.
Seems like a decent place, movie theater, fully functioning bar.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like those are all things that we got to see in Last of Us 2, not like it's a big change from Last of Us 1.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they skipped straight to when it was a fully functioning town, as opposed to when it was just because in the game, it's just they're hanging out in the dam itself.
Yeah, and they constantly get attacked in the dam as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Another thing where they remove a lot of like the gameplay mechanics, which I guess is fine, like for the sake of the TV show, where it's just focusing on character stuff. But yeah, it's just more like deviations from the game, but it's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think it probably is better to have like this nice break from them being in the wilderness for 3 months. I'm annoyed that I literally said it during the episode. Ellie got her hair cut and then put it right back up.
I mean, you don't do that?
Yeah, doesn't everybody do that?
I don't put my hair up at all.
Oh.
It's long enough, but I don't.
But I do. What's wrong with that? Hating on me?
I'm going to have to arrive at your house with a pair of scissors. Man buns are legal.
It's not a man bun. It's a ponytail. There's a difference.
Wolf tails are illegal.
Sad face.
In terms of okay, so we'll move from like the to a pivotal scene. So we want to talk about the big conversation between Joel and Ellie, or the multiple conversations between Joel and Tommy.
Let's talk about the second conversation between Joel and Tommy. I find it weird that they didn't. I didn't see it clearly, at least, that Ellie was able to hear.
Yeah, they didn't really. They didn't really show how she would have heard that. Without them seeing.
Weird thing where like she just like is like walking
magically behind a not soundproof wall or something.
Right.
Yeah, like perfectly off screen. I feel like that would have been better if she saw it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, and then like that's what.
Yeah, you literally just pan over and she's like hiding behind, a pillar or something.
Or like I said, make it so that Joel and Tommy see her realize that. You know what I mean? Instead of having it be like a reveal.
Yeah,
scene there.
That just felt weird to me because of like the fact that we don't know that she heard until she reveals it, and it would be more suspenseful if we know that she heard and Joel doesn't, instead of everyone being in the dark.
Yeah, and have her reaction to that, like, you know what I mean? Have her like hyperventilate, have her like freak out, you know what I mean? Like,
or just get angry, which is what she would probably do.
And that's what she did when we got to that scene, but like I said, we didn't get much prep for it. I guess, and we go into that scene where she confronts Joel about him leaving her. How do we feel about
it? I'm mixed about it, to be honest.
All right, then say both of what you're mixed about.
Yeah, go ahead and throw us off here.
So I kind of have been. So I've been agreeing with you, Max, on how it's like it feels like the games have just been doing that scenes better whenever they've done the 1-to-1.
Yeah.
I feel like this is again another instance of that, because I liked the previous conversation because it's like, oh, you're actually allowing Pedro Pascal to act and he's vulnerable and that kind of stuff. And
Ninja, would you say that Pedro Pascal in that second Tommy discussion was a good example of acting or not?
Not really. I mean, maybe I just have like a massive hate boner for the guy, but he doesn't come across to me as that talented.
I feel like he was
like I always just see Pedro Pascal.
That's fair, but you have to acknowledge the opinionation, the bias there.
I just did.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he did fine, but I don't know.
But that's my gripe. He always does fine. He does not do like stellar. He is not like a top tier fucking actor like everybody says he is. I do not understand why he continues to get top billing in like every project ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the disconnect for me.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like with that scene, I mean, I think they did a decent enough job. They did it with the material given.
Yeah, and the idea of Joel that's something that we never really encounter in the game. Because to be fair, Joel is a fucking old man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he's more than 50 years old by the time the game rolls around.
In the game, you don't get that because he's like a super soldier, fucking badass. But here in the show, they get a chance to actually flesh that out a little more. Which, I don't know how I feel about that because it sets up some pretty heavy implications. Like,
such as,
is he dying?
No. So what it's implying through all of this was that he's almost having like panic attacks.
Is he having a panic attack or is he having heart attacks? There's a difference.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because they keep harping on how old he is and like the cold air and stuff like that, it really makes you question his physical health as opposed to his mental health.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying anything bad about like that as like a world building thing because like he's old as fuck. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he should start having health issues.
Yeah, it's tracks that he's having health issues. He admits it. He's like, I'm kind of deaf. I can't hear things as well. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. She had to save me when I wouldn't have been able to. Would have killed that guy with no problem. So it's like you get all of this stuff, and that's not really. It's brought up in that one scene, but it's not really what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't bring it up in the Ellie discussion. Like, it's just more of him being a dick, and then they kind of just get over it in the next scene. You know what I mean? Like, that's what
it's
felt
another
a little jarring
restart.
to me. The scene with them arguing was pretty good. It's the follow-up scene with them, like, just like, nah, we're all hunky-dory, it's okay. That's where it felt a little, like, badly
Whereas in the game, at least, there was the like the fact that the conversation had to stop because there were raiders that were attacking.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well, and that kind of brings up an interesting thing. Like, they keep cutting all of the combat sections of the game, but I understand why they're doing that. But at the same time, it's like you can't, because during a lot of those sections, or even just the walking sections, there's a lot of dialogue and exposition and things that happen that is just getting skipped. It's like, I'm fine with you cutting the strictly combat, like, fine, whatever, but then you need to find other ways to squeeze that stuff in. You can't just get rid of it and feel like you're telling the same story.
And to be fair, they are trying, but like that feels like they're not doing it as well as they could. Because like that whole like ride to Colorado, if you want to call it that, like that feels like they're trying to make up for like not having any combat and like not having Ellie deal with all this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the 5-day skip from when they go from Jackson to the college or the university. That is basically where the mending of the relationship clearly occurs, but we don't see any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't get any of that.
Like the dialogue is good there, but like it's not what they need to be talking about. They don't need to be talking about football and politics. They need to be talking about like, hey, what I said was kind of fucked up. Yeah, what I said was kind of fucked up too. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to talk about that? Who's left you and all that shit? Like that should have been there, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, that's why, like, when it came to the decision to stay with Joel, that's why there were, like, combat encounters. Like, as I was saying, they're having their argument, and then Tommy just goes, we've got a situation, because unlike in the... Because Jackson isn't a full-on town, so they went outside. That's when they went to that abandoned house. Raiders attacked. That's when Tommy goes, no, she's safer with you. It's more forcing.
Were there raiders attacking after that? I remember the really dumb raider attack that happens when you ride the horse up to her. And I thought that was like, honestly, in gameplay, I thought that was kind of pointless because it's like, how the fuck did she get past these raiders?
I don't remember there were raiders before. I remember there were raiders after.
Before, and like that was a major weird thing with it because that means Ellie just rode past them. Like I said, the game is definitely not flawless. Like, let's get that hundreds of fair. We all really appreciate it, but like
we appreciate its narrative and gameplay has always been
the gameplay is fine. It's a lot of the like stuff that happens like for gameplay reasons. Like the mechanics are fine. The reasons why is stupid. Like, are you familiar with like how Mortal Kombat deals with its story mode? Like every single character has a chapter, and you have 4 fights in each chapter. Some of the fights are really stupid. Like literally, it's like, hey, if this character says one more sentence, they don't actually have to fight, but they do have to fight. And then the character says the sentence after you have to fight, and it's all hunky dory. Just like, you know, you just like split his balls open and shit like that.
I was going to say, if you used an X-ray move, you fucking shot them in the face.
And yeah, and X-ray moves were super easy to do. So like, why wouldn't you do an X-ray move? So it's really stupid, and like. That in itself can be it's ludonarrative dissonance. Is that what the word?
Yeah, that's the one you're going for.
Yeah, it's the idea of like it's just not fitting well, and like I feel like cutting out some of the combat sections in Last of Us has been okay because, like I said, you don't even remember that section that happens in between Joel getting to Ellie because you probably just deleted it from your brain. I mean, fair enough.
It involves walking.
Probably.
No, it involves shooting people, and then literally, I think Tommy even says it's like, how did Ellie get past these people? It's like, yeah, how? It's a good fucking question.
It's a good question for another time.
Excuse me.
Tommy, I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff, but like, I can't really think of too much stuff that I have problems with. So I was kind of hoping to jump off of you guys' discussion.
The university was incredibly shortened.
Yes, because it's a whole combat arena.
Well, should we talk about the changes? Like, how do we feel about
the baseball
stabbed?
bat?
Well, the stab as opposed to the rebar. Like,
the rebar in the game is actually kind of flawed because Ellie in that whole 2-minute struggle with the guy could have done anything to help Joel.
She's at least this time she's helpless.
Yes. Like there's a point.
This also is finally an example of Joel being an actual badass, like we wanted from the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Badass old man.
Oh yeah, he snapped that guy's fucking neck.
Going out the window is a little more badass, but all right.
And what?
With the rebar, like, you know, getting basically thrown out of the fucking window and falling.
Well, see, you say that's badass, but then I just think about why didn't Ellie shoot the guy?
That's on Ellie's character as opposed to Joel.
It's true, but like that's all I could think about is like that's something that should have been done, and that would have saved Joel from getting stabbed.
It would have also been a complaint on our end if it was done here.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad they changed it, but I don't know if they changed it for the better.
And also, it's fixing a gap that was like sincerely lacking since they are skipping most of the combat, where they actually they're showing Joel doing stuff that is combat related, where he thrives and showing his knowledge of defense or offense.
In what regard? Oh, like you're talking about in just the fight itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Monkeys.
The monkey actually kind of got me, not gonna lie. Kind of freaked me out. So
would they
it's well established that I'm a bitch, and when scenes get tense, I hide under my covers.
Would they even have survived for that long?
Animals are quite the word
even when they're not in their native habitat.
Intuitive.
Yes.
Intuitive. Yeah. Primates are very good at like surviving in new situations. Look at the ones that have adapted to urban living out in the eastern world.
And like there was that whole documentary about it called Planet of the Apes. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah.
There was a couple of them.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Marky Mark was there.
The Rise of the Dawn of the Planet of the Beginning of the Revenge of the Apes.
I never watched those movies because the naming convention was
Max,
so
do you
stupid.
smell toast?
I always smell toast. Ching! Toast is done.
But is it buttered?
Yeah, the butter.
That's my secret cap. I'm always buttered.
I didn't ask if you were buttered.
But I told you anyway.
I said that and I actually felt really dirty saying
yeah.
No.
It's not Graham's.
I'm going to have to insert a age restriction on this episode.
Lord, I apologize for the buttered brownie.
Can we bleep Max out for that one?
Can we bleep Max out from the podcast?
Just anytime he talks, just hear beep.
No, don't do beeps because YouTube detects beeps, so it has to be a different kind of noise.
Ducks quacking.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that what
that's what Gundam does?
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, monkey sounds.
That's potentially
racist.
Oh no, he gets canceled.
No.
I feel like they didn't really talk too much about why Joel and Tommy were separated. I guess Tommy was like a little upset they were killing people, and he just decided to leave.
Don't know.
I think they kind of went over it in a few, like in the earlier episodes. He joined the Fireflies because he thought he was going to make a difference. The same reason he joined the military before the collapse. Okay. And then he left the Fireflies.
Mm-hmm. But he's the one with the military experience. So presumably he probably taught Joel a lot of like, what he knows in terms of combat and surviving and all that kind of stuff. Yet he's the one who left.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt a little bizarro to me, to be honest. But
it could have used some more, I don't know, dialogue.
A little bit, like the first time, like because Joel's whole motivation was to find Tommy, and now that we're here, we get a couple scenes of them talking, but like I feel like Ellie going to the movies wasn't as important as Joel and Tommy talking.
Yeah, and that felt just, I don't know, really fucking quick. Like, oh, it's like I came to find Tommy, I found Tommy.
Right, reality.
The fact that we didn't spend the episode with Tommy, at least like part of the way out of the Jackson, was a little weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because doesn't Tommy ride down a little bit with you to Colorado? Am I tripping?
No, he just gets.
I think you're tripping because he goes back to fight the Raiders.
Yeah, he kind of holds them off.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe I'm getting mixed with the second one. I don't know.
Yeah, he goes and makes the Raiders perform a last stand.
Yeah. I really didn't like the middle part of the game, I'll be honest. So
that's fair.
Yeah, Winter was kind of like where I liked most of
Winter. Like I like Tommy, and like I feel like I like him a lot more here than I like him in the game because like I feel like there was much there.
Tommy's more of a passing note in the game.
I feel like they fleshed out Tommy a lot more here than they did there because like Tommy's just like a quest position, not like a motivation.
Yeah, in fact, Joel and Tommy reunite almost by sheer fucking accident.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. They changed it to be his entire motivation, which is fine. But then it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, then you have to make it meaningful. And when they had the opportunity to do that, they were like, "Yeah, get fucked. We don't care."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay. And did they ever say how long Joel and Tommy have been separated?
A few years, I think they said.
It was like a couple of years or something.
Okay, so I guess my immediate question then would be like, so they're separated, right? Why is his motivation to go find Tommy now?
He lost contact. Tommy stopped replying on the radio.
Yeah. Which.
So he was fine with him being gone as long as they could talk on the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, see, that's like the problem is like, why aren't they? They should have took more time to actually explain some of the shit why they fucking broke apart. Like that's the thing, is like Tommy did get more here in the show than he did in the game, but like I feel like it's just not enough.
It's almost as if it's really weird that they made Tommy like more important in the overall story when in all reality he's a footnote.
No, it's fine making him more important with the story. It's the execution. You know what I mean? They could change Last of Us to be a completely different fucking thing as long as they do it well. Like people will complain about adaptation arguments, but like as long as it's done well, we won't really care. We'll enjoy this story. Problem is that changing Tommy isn't inherently a negative thing. It's just that what they gave us isn't enough to be satisfying. I guess you're baffled by my.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with them changing Tommy and more important, especially considering all the stuff he does in Last of Us 2. Like,
right,
that's great, that's fine, but it's like we got basically nothing of him in this. It's like this is the big moment where it's like, okay, we've been knowing that Joel's on the hunt for Tommy since what, episode 1?
Yeah, Tommy needs to essentially do like a not a gigantic exposition dump, but something similar where it's like we need to ask the questions.
Yeah,
well, or he needs to be like a pivotal part of the, like, even if you don't have him actually doing stuff with the plot, he needs to be facilitating the emotional or the, you know, the character stuff. He's not really doing that either.
The fact that he stayed completely silent when Joel and Ellie were mad at each other in the stable, he wasn't like making things worse or better for either direction.
And then he
wasn't doing anything.
And then Joel just asked for his gun.
Mm-hmm.
As you do.
Which is good, I guess, since he didn't get his gun back before he left. I guess that's kind of important.
They just traded.
That was a weird line. It's like, wait, why didn't you have your gun before you left, dog?
Well, and am I misremembering, or didn't the camp like all the people in Jackson, didn't they have some kind of connection to the Fireflies in the game? Like, weren't they like a group
they
of?
left.
Yeah, like they used to be Fireflies and then they splintered off or something.
I thought it was just Tommy who used to be the Firefly, and these guys are just a different community.
I vaguely recall some of them being former Fireflies for some reason, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Well, it would
It
make
was a
sense,
mix.
like from a consistency standpoint, if because remember the Fireflies didn't give Joel back his shit either.
Yeah.
They're the assholes that way.
Well,
Like every time they take his guns, they're not giving him back.
Yeah, literally, he's trying to save Ellie's life in the last encounter, and they beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Well,
How rude.
Yeah.
Well, even then,
He's literally giving her CPR, like, put your gun down.
It's like,
What?
it's like, could you just wait a minute? Hits him with the butt of his rifle. Oh,
Yeah, literally, he's like pressing on her chest, and they run up and just smack him in the temple, and it's like,
it's kind of why it's
I hope
really,
Ellie doesn't fucking die.
it's really weird how, for the most part, when it comes to like how the Fireflies are portrayed in the first game, they suddenly become cartoonishly evil the second that it's time to shoot them.
Yeah. I'm curious how that will be handled. Like I said, that's something in the future, obviously, but like, I don't know. Like, I mean, the communist thing, we talked about that before the stream, didn't we?
Yes,
I don't know.
did.
I just, it just felt like a little, like I said, it just felt like them just like making a joke that it's communism. Like, I don't think it's actually communism. And if people who are like, "Oh, see, communism works," it's like, yeah, but it's in the fucking apocalypse. So yeah, I guess when the world explodes, communism's okay.
And very small scale, also said in the episode.
Also said in the episode. Mm-hmm.
And you were bringing up how like, oh yeah, with the taking the guns too. Remember, they just took their clothes too. Like they put them in the rag pile.
Well, to be fair, they probably were rags. The implication that they've been in those clothes for a couple of months.
No, yeah, they're more than like worn down.
There's a very deliberate shot of him like trying to put his fucking shoes back together. You know what I mean? It's like, so that means they've been in these clothes for a while. And I always think it's like, why don't he just like order his shit from Amazon? Like, I don't understand. Like, does he not have Prime?
He just orders new boots. The drone just
flies
into shot, just drops them off.
Mm-hmm. While they're in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
And then the old natives would be like, like this white guy needs his Amazon. What a loser.
Even in the apocalypse, Amazon always knows where you are.
The old people would definitely have something to say if they got something delivered to their house from Amazon.
Right. Especially then, too.
Yeah, because they were supposedly off the grid even before the apocalypse.
Right.
It's like, oh, we've been living off the grid, and yet we can still order Amazon? God damn it.
That's where he was picking up. He was picking up his bunnies from the Amazon pickups joint.
Got it right off the Amazon fresh.
Yeah. From, what is it, Farmer's Market? I can't really think of anything too egregious with this episode besides like the Tommy thing. Oh, and I guess the healing of the conversations between Joel and Ellie.
What about those conversations?
Like I said, I feel like Joel didn't say enough to like, because they were just copying. See, I guess this is a problem, is they're just copying the game at that point. They're not actually writing their own new shit. But like, for the context of this show, that doesn't really work, because in this regard, Joel has a lot more reason to want to give up Ellie. And he actually has a really sympathetic reason. He's not just an asshole who wants to leave her behind. He actually is scared that he can't protect her. It's a really interesting change to his character that makes it that he's afraid he's going to lose another Sarah. Like, I guess that's in the game too. But the idea is that like this one's like it's more to the forefront of his character, as opposed to him just being a loner.
Well, like it's more acknowledged.
Yeah. Because like in the game, that's not his motivation to leave Ellie. In the game, it's just like, yeah, fuck Ellie. I don't fucking want to be around her anymore.
It's the you're not a person, you're cargo.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's why like that's when that argument kind of reaches a bit of a boiling point, because in the game at least, like Tommy told me about Sarah. Ellie, you are on real thin ice right now. Like that's why I really like that line as opposed to just the just don't.
Well, don't still works though, but the problem is, like I said,
Don't works more for me, honestly.
yeah, but the idea, that's not my problem. It's like there needed to be more said outside of just Joel being triggered.
Right.
Like,
There's conversations that have been skipped in the repair process, and we said it earlier that they skipped 5 days where that mending of the relationship should have occurred to get back to where they're talking about random things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and this is my issue with the show, or one of the big ones overall, is like there you could somebody be like, oh well, they just don't have time. You know, obviously they had to cram this into one episode. No, you didn't. Remember the first 3 episodes of Alice in Borderland? Like how quickly we got attached to those 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's like, oh, when that big event happens, it's like, God damn, it hits you emotionally because you have gotten attached to them. And all of that happens within what, like an hour and a half
Mm-hmm.
worth of time? And it's like, you're telling me we're, what, 7 episodes in?
I guess the argument could be made that the budget wasn't there because
6 episodes.
The thought that like video game
back.
media is still not taken seriously. So like, yeah, even though Last
Oh,
of Us,
this is a huge budget, dude.
Is it?
Huge.
Yeah, this is a very big budget.
okay,
Massive. Like just for them to have these big name actors, for them to have this level of CG, because I mean, to be fair, with all the things I don't like about the show, it looks pretty.
yes,
Like when you see the devastated Boston and the leaning skyscrapers and everything covered in vines, it looks like you're actually there. It doesn't look like a green screen.
mm-hmm.
So that tells me they've got money.
Yeah, they actually destroyed Boston to film that shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck Boston.
Well, no, they didn't film Boston. They just I don't want to say it. Backing out of that bit. I don't
They keep saying like, oh yeah, like I keep hearing back and forth on this. So it's like, oh yeah, all practical sets. Where it's like, no, there's still a fair chunk of CG.
There's a fair chunk of CG, but like, you know what I mean. There's practical where it needs to be practical.
Right.
They didn't CG those houses that they were walking in.
Well, it turns out that big block of the houses in the Kansas City
don't say. What are you talking about? They still had to build all those fucking houses.
Well, I'm
ignorant? Like,
no, you didn't let me finish. I was actually about to praise. I was like, yeah, they built a fucking small neighborhood there. What the hell?
The way you said it made it sound like you were going to complain about it not being practical.
No,
that's what the way you were coming off.
I was actually gonna praise. So it's like they built a fucking. They built a block of a neighborhood essentially.
They built this city.
They built this city
on all your chips. Okay.
There's just not a lot to talk about on this episode.
Yeah, I feel like we all got it out, and I feel like Slur has like really brought up some really good points about it as well.
Yeah, he's been very helpful.
You're welcome.
Do you have anything to add?
I mean, we kind of covered most of it. A lot of it is just there's some stuff here, like the building up of just how much everything Joel has been through, how it actually takes a toll on him in a very relevant, very important sense. It's fine, and I think it does a really good job of giving him that chance to like actually address his shit before we just transition to his walls being down and him being a lot more open to a relationship with Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not bad. There are things about it I liked, and I think a lot of the reason there's not much to say about it is because most of it is functional. Most of it is fine. It's just a few things here and there that are like, eh. But overall, I thought it was, pretty good. Right.
Okay.
All right, then. Let's move on to the next one. We'll see you guys all next week.
No.
No.